special meeting of Tuesday the 29th of October at 9:04 a.m. Thank you all for your attendance. I'll start with apologies. Is there anyone that is happy to move? There is. Councillor Brumpton.
Can I move that apologies be received and a leave of absence granted for Mayor Taylor?
And a seconder, Councillor Searide. I'll put that all in favour.
Yes.
That's carried, 8-0. We have one item on the agenda, which is the upcoming briefing topics. Council briefing 29th of October 2024. Are there any conflicts of interest? There are. Councillor Davis.
Thank you. I'd like to declare a conflict of interest. The item number is number 3 on this special agenda, special meeting. Can we just replace 6.1 with 3, Nikita, please? Item 1.0, agenda familiarisation. The description is the upcoming councillor briefing, consideration of declarations of interest, councillor briefing 29th of October 2024. The declaring councillor is myself, Councillor Amber Davis. The person with the interest is myself and my children, Aubrey and Libby Davis. The particulars are that my children are members of the Roma and District Motocross. The type of conflict is declarable conflict of interest. Although I have a declarable conflict of interest and remove myself from the grant evaluation discussion due to erring on the side of caution, I do not believe a reasonable person could have a perception of bias. Therefore, I will choose to remain in the meeting or briefing. However, I will respect the decision of the meeting on whether I can remain and participate in the briefing.
Thanks, Councillor Davis. Just before I continue, just so I'm clear, other councillors that have a conflict on this item, be Councillor Burkett, Councillor Vincent, Councillor Searide, and Councillor Hancock?
Yes, I have.
So is there a councillor that is
eligible? Non-conflicted?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is there a councillor that's willing? There is. Councillor Brumpton.
I move that it is in the public interest that Councillor Davis participates and votes on the agenda item number... Oh, it participates in the discussion. It's not a vote, is it? Agenda item 3 in 1.0, because a reasonable person would trust that the decision is made in the public interest.
Is there a seconder? There is. Councillor Flynn. I'll put that all in favour. That's carried 3-0. Councillor Burkett, you had a conflict? Or Councillor Vincent?
I'd like to declare a conflict of interest on item number 3, item 1, agenda familiarisation, upcoming councillor briefing, consideration of declarations of interest, councillor briefing 29th of October 2024. Declaring councillor is myself. The related party is Elsie Vincent. Elsie is Secretary of the Indian Camp Draft Association. Indian Camp Draft Association has submitted a grant application in this round. It is a declarable conflict of interest and I'll leave the room while the matter is discussed.
Thanks, Councillor Vincent. Councillor Burkett?
I've got to declare a conflict of interest on item 3, agenda item 3, item 1, agenda familiarisation. Description, up and coming councillor briefing, consideration of declarations of interest, councillor briefing 29th of October 2024. Declaring councillor is myself. The person of interest is my father, Gary Burkett. Particulars of interest, I have a conflict as my father is the president of Mitchell Rotary Club and the club is mentioned in the report. It's a declarable conflict of interest and I will leave the room while the matter is voted on. It's discussed, sorry.
Thanks, Councillor Burkett. Councillor Hancock?
I'd like to declare an interest on number 3, item 1.0 of the agenda familiarisation. Upcoming council briefing, consideration of declarations of interest, council briefing 29 October 2024. Declaring councillor is Councillor Joanne Hancock. Person with interest is Taylor Price. Particulars of interest is Taylor Price is a close family friend and is one of the organisers of the Ballon Ball, which is one of the grant which is one of the proposed grant recipients. And Balonne is Balonne, please. Double N, thanks, Nikita. Thank you.
Did you say it's a declarable interest and you're leaving the room?
Yeah.
Sorry, and it's a declarable interest, and I'll leave the room while the matter is being discussed. And
Thanks,
voted on.
Councillor Hancock. Councillor Hancock again.
I'd like to declare an interest in item 3, item 1 of agenda familiarisation, description, upcoming council briefing, consideration of declaration of interest, council briefing 29 October 2024. Declaring councillor is Councillor Joanne Hancock. Person with the interest is Surat Post News Proprietary Limited. Particulars of interest: a Surat Post News employee is the child of the owner of the Astor Theatre. Type of conflict: declarable conflict of interest. And action: I will leave the room when the matter is discussed and voted on.
Thanks, Councillor Hancock. Have we missed Councillor Seawright?
Yeah, well, I didn't put one in because previously we just got out of the room and didn't discuss it.
Until the meeting.
You'll end up doing that tomorrow, but because others have done it today.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's cool. You can tag it in. Sorry, Nikita.
One job, mate.
Babysitting Burko.
All right.
I'd like to declare conflict of interest on item 3, item 1.0, agenda familiarisation, upcoming councillor briefing, consideration of declarations of interest, councillor briefing 29th of October 2024. Declaring councillor is myself. Persons of interest is myself and my wife, Kristen Seawright. Particulars of interest is myself and Kristen hold positions within the Wallumbilla AMP Association and A&P, sorry, Nikita, which is Agricultural and Pastoral Association, and also myself, I am the president of the Wallumbilla Town Improvement Group, which both have submitted applications to the community grant program. It is a prescribed conflict of interest, and I will leave the room while this matter is discussed.
Thanks, Councillor Seawright. Councillor Flynn.
I have a conflict of interest on item 3.0, Roma Airport Precinct Plan and Land Use Strategy, a council information gathering session. I believe this is a declarable person of interest is myself, Peter Flynn. The particular of interest, my business, Maranoa Travel, has dealings at the Roma Airport. The type of conflict is a declarable conflict of interest. And although I have a declarable conflict of interest, I do not believe a reasonable person could have a perception of bias. Therefore, I will choose to remain in the meeting. However, I will respect the decision of the meeting on whether I can remain and participate in the decision.
Thanks, Councillor Flynn. So just for clarity, what you're declaring is agenda item 3, which is our upcoming briefing topics, council briefing, but it's item 3, which is the Roma Airport Precinct Plan and Land Use Strategy. That's the one you've done now?
Yes.
Yep, okay. We just want to get that right up here. So it's
Not right. on
it's
the
item
screen.
3. Everything else stays the same. All right, is there someone willing to move? There is Councillor Brumpton.
I move that it is in the public interest that Councillor Flynn participates in the discussion on agenda item 3, because a reasonable person would trust that the decision is made in the public interest.
Thanks, Councillor Brumpton. Is there a seconder? There is Councillor Vincent. I'll put that. All in favour?
Yes.
That's carried 7-0. Councillor Flynn, you have another declaration?
Item 4.0, the Roma Airport presentation of community survey results. Person with the conflict is myself, Peter Flynn. Sorry.
It's playing up.
The particulars of the interest is I'm the owner of business Maranoa Travel Centre that has a partnership selling airfares for Rex Airlines. The business of Rex Airlines will be discussed at length as part of this survey. Conflict is a prescribed conflict of interest, and I will leave the room while the matter is discussed and voted on.
Thanks, Councillor Flynn. Any other conflicts? No. Is there someone willing to move on item 3? Councillor Vincent.
I'd like to move that the council receive and note the officer's report as presented.
Is there a seconder? There is Councillor Burkett. I'll put that. All in favour?
Yes.
That's carried 8-0. No further business on the agenda, so I'll close the meeting at 9:16 a.m.